Hello all, welcome to Homeschool, and we are with the chapter Control and Coordination, where in our previous videos we have completed our discussion on the nervous system, isn't it? So nervous system is just like a wiring system, isn't it? So here the nervous system is mainly made up of many nerves. Through the nerve, the nerve impulse, that is signals or information, is passed from one part to another part of a body, isn't it? And the transfer of these signals or information, which we call it as nerve impulse. Okay, why? Because why do we call it as impulse? Is because the information is passed in the form of electricity. Okay, fine. And this nerve impulse, like this carriage of signals from one place to another place through nerves, is mainly controlled by brain and sometimes spinal cord, isn't it? And when you observe the nervous system, you can conclude one thing, that the nervous system controls the faster actions, isn't it? So one point I would like to write on nervous system is, see here, nervous system controls, it will control faster actions. Like we automatically remove our hand when we touch hot things, isn't it? And the process of jumping, running, talking, all these are quite faster actions. Brain very fastly, it gives signal to the muscle cells or the target cells, where the organs will act. Yes or no? So this is how various physical activities are performed. Okay, say running, jumping, talking, all these are physical activities. So these faster actions are mainly controlled by nervous system. Okay, but there is a limitation for nervous system. There is a limitation here. See, wherever nerves are there, to that, their information can be passed. Yes or no? If information has to be passed from one place to another place, nerves are compulsorily required. Okay, but there are many cells in our body where nerves are not connected. Yes, there are many things in our body. To those cells, nerves are not connected. Then who will control them? Who will tell, how is the information getting passed towards those cells? Only when the information reach to them, they will work. Otherwise, they won't work. Got to know? Say for example, as a student, what is your work? Studying. Okay. But without anybody telling you to study, do you sit and study? No, right? Only few times you will do that. Otherwise, your parents have to tell, your parents must tell the importance of studies, teachers have to tell the importance of studies, they should motivate you, they should encourage you. Only then you will keep your book and sit for studying, isn't it? Until and unless somebody encourages and provokes you, we don't sit for studying, isn't it? So similarly, the various cells or organs which are there in our body, they have their own work. But when do they do their work? When somebody sends information, when somebody provokes, isn't it? Say for example, the moment you see your friend, I said you will wave your hand, and the reason behind waving your hand, I told, brain has to tell signal to the muscle cell so that your hand will wave, isn't it? But if brain is not there to send the signals for your muscle cell, will you lift your hand and wave? No, right? What is the work of your muscle cell? Lifting, waving, etc. But who has to tell a muscle cell to work like this? Brain is telling, isn't it? Like that, each and every cell which is there in our body, each and every organ which is there in our body, they have certain allotted work. Okay, so they will do that work only when someone when someone brings the information, or when someone encourages them or provokes them. Okay, so in the same way, say wherever nerves are connected, they will do their work on time whenever the information is passed through the nerves. Yes, and the information will be sent by brain or spinal cord. Okay, but just now what did I tell you? There are many cells in our body where they don't have nerve connections. Okay, they are not connected with the nerves. Then who will tell them to work? How do they work? And who will send the signals for those cells to work? Brain cannot send, spinal cord cannot send, because nerves are not connected to them. How is brain sends a signal? How is spinal cord sends a signal? Through the nerves only. Nerves are connected to a particular cells or organs. So through the nerves, signals are passing from a brain. So the organs or cells are working. Isn't it? But if the cells are not connected to the nerve cells, how is the signal passed to them? How do they work and how do they act? Right? This is a big question. So that's the reason, along with the nervous system, we have one more communication system inside our body, that is hormonal system. Okay, so whichever cells that are not connected to the nerves, those cells will do their duty with the help of certain chemical messengers. With the help of some chemical messengers, and we call them as hormones. Okay, hormones are just a certain chemicals. So these chemicals will send the information, information is passed through these chemicals so that organs will do their work, isn't it? So whichever cells that are not connected to nerves, which do not have a wiring system for them, then those organs or cells will work according to chemicals. Okay, so they are called hormones and we are going to discuss them. And before that, let me write the limitation of nervous system. So the information cannot be passed only through the nerves to each and every cell which is there in our body, isn't it? So what I can write is, nerves are not connected. Nerves are not connected to many cells that are present in a body. Okay, so when nerves are not connected to many cells, those particular cells, how do they work? How do they function? This is the big question in front of us. So we are going to study the hormonal system. Got to know? So this is what about, yes, control and coordination is achieved by nervous system, definitely. And control and coordination can also be achieved by certain chemical substances, which we call it as hormonal system. Okay, so each and every activity that we do and each and everything that is happening within us is controlled either by nervous system or by hormonal system. Okay, so all the things are not controlled by nervous system alone. All the things are not controlled by hormonal system alone. Okay, so both the systems will work in coordination with each other, right? So that all the things should occur very properly within our human system. Okay, so both the systems are very much necessary for the growth and maintenance of this human system. Here everybody, fine. So we discussed everything about nervous system, and let us purely talk about hormonal system in this class. Hormonal system. Okay, so usually hormonal system controls the slower processes. Okay, see, what did I tell you? Nervous system controls faster actions or faster processes, isn't it? So in the same way, our hormonal system can control the slower processes. Slower processes in the sense what? Growing in height. Yes or no? Growing in height and developing secondary characters in females and males. There are various things that are happening inside our body each and every day, but they are not happening all of a sudden. They happen gradually, very slowly they occur, isn't it? Say for example, growing in height, right? If you have to grow to this particular height, it takes some years. Say you cannot grow this much of height within a year, within a day, within a month, isn't it? It takes some years to grow. So such slower processes are taken care by hormonal system. Faster processes are taken care by nervous system. Okay, so this point of difference is very important to understand between nervous system and hormonal system here. Okay, fine. And before we go for studying hormonal system, you should have some basics here. Okay, so I am going to discuss few basic things first, and later we will study in detail about different types of hormones and all. Okay, fine. See here, you must know something called glands. Okay, so there are certain organs within our system, everywhere from head to the abdomen part or whatever. There are various organs. These organs are the one which actually secretes that chemicals. I told you the information is passed with the help of chemicals, I told, right? And somebody must be there to create those chemicals, isn't it? So there are certain specialized organs located in our body which can create, which can synthesize those chemicals, and those organs are called glands. Okay, so what is the definition that you can write for a gland? Glands are organs that secrete chemicals. Secrete chemicals. You know what is the purpose of these chemicals? Carries information. Okay, from one place to another place. Okay, fine. And there are two types of glands actually. One is exocrine glands. And the very important type of gland is endocrine gland. Okay, so what do you mean by exocrine gland? Actually these types of glands secrete chemical substance and releases them through ducts. Okay, so what do you mean by ducts? In a normal language, ducts in the sense pipes. Okay, certain pipes. Okay, say for example, salivary glands, and sweat glands. All these are examples for exocrine glands. See, listen to the definition carefully. They secrete chemical, no doubt. Okay, but this chemical is released to the target organ, like see whichever organ to whichever organ they are sending information. No, that is called as target organ. Okay, to the target organ, the chemical is released through small pipes. Okay, so those small pipes are actually called as ducts. Okay, so such an organ is called as exocrine glands. Say for example, salivary gland. Say where is the salivary gland present? If this is a buccal cavity, so here the salivary gland is present. Okay, say salivary gland secretes saliva, isn't it? Saliva contains salivary amylase. It's a kind of chemical. Okay, and this saliva must reach the buccal cavity. Yes, say this is the buccal cavity. So this particular chemical, that is saliva, works, it does its duty in a buccal cavity. It should reach to buccal cavity, and it will reach through some small pipes. Okay, so through a pipe it is reaching, such a glands we will call it as exocrine glands. Okay, and they are directly, say the chemical that is secreted in exocrine gland is directly liberated to the site of action. Site of action in the sense buccal cavity. This is where that chemical has to work. This is where the chemical has to pass the information, isn't it? So what happens in a buccal cavity actually? Your carbohydrates will break down, carbohydrate breakdown, starch will break up into glucose. That is the work done by saliva, isn't it? So the information is carried through this particular chemical, that is saliva. Once it goes into a buccal cavity, then actually the starch breaking down takes place. Okay, so this is how the chemical directly moves into the site of action, the place where it has to work. That is called site of action. Okay, so there it goes, and the duties are performed in this particular organ, that is buccal cavity. And how is the chemical gone to this site of action? It has gone through a small pipes which we call them as ducts. Okay, so the glands which have a ducts are called exocrine glands. So examples for that is salivary glands, sweat glands. Where are the sweat glands present? Below the skin. Okay, so they produce sweat, and those sweat directly come onto the skin. There's nothing to carry the chemical. Chemical is directly liberated onto the skin. Okay, through what? Through small pipes which we call them as ducts. Okay, so such a organ which is creating chemical in this way, and it is liberated through the ducts directly to the site of action, is called exocrine glands. Okay, and coming to the next type of a gland, that is endocrine gland, and this is what very, very important, and about this we are going to discuss in this class. Okay, see what I can write for endocrine gland is the organ that secretes chemical, and these chemicals are actually called as hormones. Okay, so the chemicals secreted by endocrine glands are called as hormones. Okay, usually the chemicals secreted by exocrine glands like the sweat glands, mammary glands, and the salivary glands, these chemicals are not called as hormones. Okay, but the chemicals secreted by endocrine glands are called as hormones. Okay, fine. So organs that secrete chemicals, in other words, we can call it as hormones, and released directly to the blood. Directly to the blood. Okay, so usually organ is somewhere else. The chemical will act in some other organ in somewhere else in the body. Okay, got to know. Say for example, there is an hormone secreted here in the throat area, but this particular hormone will act somewhere else in the body, not in the throat area. So how will this hormone moves from one place to another place? With the help of blood. Okay, so hormones are moved in blood only. Blood is the carrier of everything, isn't it? Blood will carry oxygen, blood will carry carbon dioxide, blood can carry waste material, blood can carry nutrients, food. In the same way, blood can carry hormones also from one place to another place. Okay, so blood will carry hormones from the place of production to the place of action, isn't it? Okay, so they are directly released to the blood, right? So this is what we call endocrine gland. And these glands do not have ducts. They do not have ducts. Okay, I told you ducts in the sense what? Small pipes. In the previous case, the hormone went to the site of action through the duct. But here, the hormone will go to a place where it has to act. Not through a pipe, but it will move directly to the blood. Through the blood only, it will go to the site of action. Okay, so that's the reason there's no necessity for having ducts for these glands. So no, because they are directly liberated into blood. So that's the reason they do not have any type of ducts here, right? So such a gland is called as endocrine glands, right? Fine. And before we go for studying how many types of endocrine glands are there in our body, let us have a small definition for hormones. So it can be asked in the examination. So what is the definition you will give for hormones? Hormones are nothing but chemical messengers. So here messages, chemical messengers. Messages are passed with the help of chemicals, isn't it, from one place to another place. Got it? So they are called chemical messengers that are produced by endocrine glands. Endocrine glands. Okay. These hormones reach to the site of action through blood. Okay, so such chemical substances are called as hormones. Okay, and now what we have to study is how many different types of endocrine glands are there in our body, and which gland is secreting what type of chemical, that is hormone, and what is the duty performed by those hormones. So these are the three aspects we have to study, and that is very, very, very important for the board examination. Okay, got to know? Let me revise once again what we have to study. How many endocrine glands are there in our body? What are they? Where are they present? And which gland can segregate or create what type of hormone? And what is the duty of that particular hormone? So these are the three major issues we have to discuss one by one. First and foremost, let us try to discuss the different types of endocrine glands present in our body. You can clearly observe the picture there. So where and all endocrine glands are present, right? Say, okay, can you able to list out the glands one by one? Just look at the picture, try to observe. I will list all the glands one by one now. First and foremost, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. You have to note it down all this and observe the picture. Keep observing the picture. See, hypothalamus is one of the very important endocrine gland that can secrete a very, very important hormone. Okay, so its function and all later we will discuss one by one in detail. Okay, just now try to remember the names of a gland and where they are present. That is important. Fine. And the second one is pituitary. Pituitary gland. Okay, very important gland. Third one, pineal gland. Pineal gland. Okay, and the fourth one is thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Fifth one, thymus. Thymus gland. It is present in a chest area, right? Thoracic cavity. You can observe in the picture. Sixth one, pancreas. That leaf-like structure. We studied about the pancreatic juices, their function during the digestion, isn't it? Say pancreas present below the stomach, and adrenal glands. Adrenal glands, they are present above the kidney. Very important type of a gland that can secrete a beautiful hormone in human beings. Okay. Next one, testis, which is found in males. Okay, and testis is the gland which secretes a very important hormone that is responsible for developing secondary sexual characters in males. Okay, and similarly, ovaries. Okay, so ovaries are again a endocrine gland that is present in females, that is responsible for developing, secondary characters in case of females. So these are the various endocrine glands that are present in a human body, and they secrete a very different chemical that will have a wonderful function in our body. Okay, and they are secreted somewhere and their action is somewhere else in the human body. Say for example, imagine this is some endocrine gland having certain cells. Say for example, I take this is a pituitary gland. Okay, so you can observe in a picture where is pituitary gland present. It is present in a brain. Okay, so in the brain, this guy secretes a chemical, and it will be released into a blood. Now this is our hormone. Okay, secreted by pituitary gland. Where is pituitary gland present? It is present in a brain, right? And this will act somewhere else. Okay, say this is what your target organ. This is what your target organ. Say for example, it may be heart or kidney or whatever it is, target organ. Okay, fine. So here, say hormones will go, hormones will flow in a blood. And how do they reach this target organ? That is a very interesting thing. In the target organ is made up of crores and crores of cells, isn't it? Each and every cell will have so-called receptors. Okay, so these receptors actually will recognize the hormones, right? So blood is getting touched with each and every cell of organ. That's obvious. Blood flows everywhere. Blood is carrying these hormones, and who will detect these hormones? The receptors that are present in the target organ. This is a target organ. Imagine this is where the chemical has to perform its duty. Okay, so how is the chemical is recognized by this organ? Because this organ is the one which wants that chemical. Okay, which wants that information carried from this gland. How is the information flowing? With the help of chemicals. So somebody must be there in a target organ to detect the hormone, right? To detect these chemicals. So who is that somebody? Receptors. Okay. So receptors are the one which will detect, and how they detect, it's all receptors are also chemicals only are. Okay. They are also chemical structures only. The chemical structure of receptors and the chemical structure of hormones will exactly match. Okay, only then receptors can accept these hormones into them. Okay, so hormones will go to the heart, and whatever duty they have to do, that duty they will perform there. Okay, so this is how hormones will reach from the site of production to the site of action. Site of production in the sense what? The place where hormone is generated. Okay, site of action in the sense what? The place where hormone actually acts. The place where hormone performs its duty. Okay, so that is how site of production to site of action, the hormone is reaching through the blood. Okay, so the moment it reaches a site of target, site of action, who will detect the hormone? Receptors that are present in the organ will detect the hormone and they will accept. Okay, so they will accept this chemicals inside to our organ. There this chemical will perform its duty. Okay, so this is how the hormones will act inside the body. Okay, so they are produced somewhere, but they will act somewhere else inside the body. And who will carry these hormones? Blood is carrying. And how are they detected by target organs like the site of action? How are they detected by cells in the site of action? Detected with the help of receptors. Okay, so these receptors are very specific. They will detect only the hormones whichever is necessary for this organ. Okay, they won't detect all the hormones. See here, you may have hormones from hypothalamus, you may have hormones from pineal gland, you may have hormones from thyroid gland. Everything may flow in a blood, but these guys will detect. Receptors are very much specific here. They will detect only the hormones that is needed for this organ. Okay, see, usually the hormone that is secreted in pancreas nowhere connected to the heart organ. Okay, these hormones will never do anything to the heart or something. Imagine, this is just an example. Then those hormones are not detected by receptors of heart. Only whichever hormones are necessary for doing some work in the heart, no, only those hormones are detected by receptors present in the heart. That is our target organ. Okay, like this. See, all hormones will never go to the all organs. They are not detected by all organs. So for whichever organ that hormone is necessary, no, so their receptors will match. Okay, only if the receptor structure is matching with the hormonal structure, only then hormones will get accepted by that particular target organ. Okay, so it's all a wonderful thing to study actually. Got it? See, very beautiful things are very much organized way they are all happening. Okay, so they're not happening however they want. It's all in a very much organized way and in a particular pattern, isn't it? See how beautiful. All hormones are not necessary for this particular organ. You know, only few hormones are necessary. Only those hormones are detected with the help of receptors. Okay, so and in my next class, let us try to study which gland is secreting what type of hormone and what is its function. Okay, so this is a very important topic for board examinations. Definitely you should pay 100% concentration here. Okay, so meet up in the next class. Till then, keep revising a concept. If you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel for more updates to learn the concepts in an easier way and in a detailed way. Thank you.